Monday, June 12th, we are going to start a brush blitz through Seint. And I can tell you, I have used many brushes. I used to buy MAC and all sorts of brands of brushes. And I believe that Seints are the best. They are made extra dense to work with our cream makeup. They are super soft. They stay super soft. A lot of times other brushes will get more prickly and the bristles will just become more brittle and prickly against your skin. They will shed. I've never had our brushes shed at all, and I love them. They're super high quality. So they're going to have a different sale each day of the week, and those will last 24 hours before they move on to the new one. So the first one is going to be called Pucker Up, and that starts June 12th at noon Mountain Time, and that will go for 24 hours before the next day will be Demi Touch with, I'm assuming, our Demi brushes. I don't even know what the sale is specifically yet. The next one is Bubbles and Brushes. I'm going to assume that that is probably going to highlight our new brush soap, which is amazing. I'm working on a video right now, editing a video showing how you can clean your brushes with that. We also have our brush cleanser, which is amazing. It is the best out there for sure. The next one, day 4, is Brush BFFs. Don't know, just guessing, but maybe our cleaning tile that you can use with our eyeshadows. You can use them with creams, but a lot of people don't because it'll gum it up pretty quickly. And you can wash it like with soap and water, but you'll be doing that constantly if you use them for cream. So I feel like this is better used for the eyeshadows. And then the last day is Summer Glow. I'm going to assume that's probably going to include our blush and bronzer brush. This brush is amazing. It is my favorite for the skin, although depending on your skin condition, your age, the issues you have, there could be a different one that's perfect for you. And I prescribe those when I do people's color match. But this is the end for the bronzer, and it buffs and polishes your skin into a glow and makes it look really youthful and healthy and supple. So I just wanted to talk to you about the brushes real quick. Like I said, they're my favorite. I am not going to downgrade my look and look worse by using things that I don't believe in. So if I didn't feel like these were the best brushes out there, I would use the other brand that I did feel like was best. So this little spot brush, this is one of our Demi brushes. So day 2 is Demi Touch. Don't know if this will be included, but it is excellent for cover up, like dot detail cover up. If you have a blemish, if you have a sunspot, especially if you're using Demi, but even if you're not, even if you're using one of your brightening highlights, you can still use it. Sometimes I'll put it on my under eye, just in the dark area of the tear trough, to kind of color correct in there. So this is a great little brush for cover up. And then you can just flip it over after you apply the color. You flip it over to the other end and kind of blur it out. So that's the spot brush. This is our eyeshadow brush, staple. I use it every single day. In fact, I have several that I use because then I can switch between colors easily. I also use the small end for my brows. I use Cafe, our eyeshadow, for my brows. And then I also use the small end to give myself a smoky eye, to develop that kind of eyeliner halo at the bottom. You can use it in the corner of your eye. This is essential for adding your color, especially in your crease. I also use it for your lid color. It kind of gives you a soft wash of color and you kind of build it up from there. So that is essential. And then I'll use one of them for browns and one of them for whatever color I'm going with that day, whether it's pink or gold. That way I'm not constantly having to use the brush cleanser on one brush. That way I've got options so I can switch colors really quickly. The line brush. This one is great if you are going to use our eyeshadows for eyeliner, like I do. Love it. It's also the small little razor's sharp end is also good for doing brush strokes, like for your brows. I do it to put my eyeliner on and to define my eyeliner on the bottom. And then the spoolie end I'll use to separate my lashes after I put on mascara. I'll also use it to brush out brows. So that's the line brush. This, I believe, is the blur brush. It is one of our Demi brushes. And I use this circular domed end to put a pop of color, usually darker color here in the outside, to kind of glam up my look. And then I'll use this in the crease too, or for a light wash of color. This is the bright brush, another one of our Demi brushes. It's great for that tear trough area. It's also good for larger areas of cover up, maybe sunspots, and then you can flip it over and use the other end to blur it out. This is our multitasker brush, great little brush. You can use this both for lips to pat on the color. I use it sometimes to pack on eye color to give it more of a punch and really flatten down those metallic or shimmery particles to make them pop more. You can use the small end for eyeliner. You can use it to line your lips. It's what I use to line my lips, and so that's handy. I also use this brush. It's my favorite for my nose contour. So it's thin and I can get really precise and detailed. So that's the multitasker. This is our smudge brush. I use this. It's more dense than the fluffier brushes, and so instead of being a wash of color like those would, this is going to pack it on much more dark. So if I want that punch of dark color here, if I want a color, say I do brown in my crease and then I want to add some orange kind of at the top, but I don't want to take over the brown and I don't want to make it too wide and get up into my brow, I'll use this to kind of dab on the color exactly where I want it, and then I can go to one of the fluffier brushes to soften that out. So that is a smudge brush, another staple that I use all the time. I use this blush and bronzer brush. I already talked about it for bronzer. I also use it for my main highlight. It gives a great light to medium coverage and it's really pretty, really fast. This end is perfect for blush because most blush brushes are way too big and they end up putting the color and making your cheeks sag and making your face look fuller because your cheeks look ginormous. So this keeps it exactly the size you need. You just dot it on and perfect. Our other skin brushes, this is the powder brush, and I do use it some for powder, but I don't really like a matte look anymore. I like to keep things more dewy, and this is very dense, so it's going to pack it on a little more heavily. So I like to use something like our blend brush, which is more feathery, but I do use this to touch up, to fill in my hairline, to make it look like it's thicker than it is. If you're getting gray hair coming up and you need a touch up, you can use it for that too. And it's really dense and really great for those areas. This is a shape brush. I love this brush for young girls because it gives a really light, soft blush look. So, and then I use the other end for different things. I'll use it for powder sometimes. You can use it to kind of blur things out if you feel like you got your blush a little heavy. So shape brush, it's another one of our demi brushes. This is our blend brush. It's a great skin brush. I used to use this all the time for myself until I started using the blush and bronzer brush. This is perfect for people who want light coverage. It's very airy and fluffy and soft, and it'll just give you a light, soft coverage. So if you have really good skin, if you're young, this is a goodie. And then I'll use the other end for putting my brightening highlight on or between my brows, and just a little tighter, shorter when I need to keep it to a smaller area. So that's our blend brush. This is our 3D brush. A lot of people use this for their main foundation, their main highlight. I don't, because for my skin, I'll be 51 here in a few weeks, and for my skin, I feel like the conical end is a little prickly for my delicate under eye. Now, most people love it for that and don't feel like that at all. This is very dense, and so it's going to put it on thicker. But if you are looking for a heavier coverage and something fast and easy, this is a good brush for that. My favorite way to use this brush is with my contour. So I will lay the contour with the cone end, and then I will flip it around and kind of buff it and blur it out with a little domed end. So it's great for contour. This is the buff brush. It is wonderful if you like a heavier coverage, or if you have large pores to kind of blur things out. You just kind of dab it and press it into your skin. It does a great job on your foundation if you want that heavier coverage, and if you have texture that you need to kind of blur out. This is for the smaller areas of your face, for like between your brows, around your nose, and then the large end is what you can use your main highlight for, the buff brush. And then the detail brush. You can also put your main color on with this as well. It'll give a medium coverage. It works real great and easy. Has a small bunny tail end that I almost always use for my under eyes. It gets into small places really well, and it's really soft. And I will also use it to kind of buff out and blur my contour on my nose. So those are all of our brushes. They're amazing. You can't go wrong. I don't know right now what the deals are going to be, but you can't go wrong with a sale on our brushes because they're all amazing. I love every single one. I use nearly every one every single day. Our brush cleanser is amazing. You can't go wrong. When you need a deep cleanse, our cleansing soap is amazing. The tile is really handy for when you're switching between eye colors. So the sales are only good for 24 hours. So at noon the next day, the new sale is going to come on. So if you want it, don't hesitate. If you have questions, let me know and I'll help you. So enjoy Seint's Brush Blitz.